Anyone who's used one of these Eliot Coleman style mousetrap boxes is going to tell you how terrific they are. If you have a lot of these traps, however, they can, like a lot of things, become a bit of a chore to check. Hang out with me for this video and I'm going to show you all the things that I've done to make these traps faster and easier to check and to eliminate essentially all bending over and stooping down required to work with them. Greetings, I'm Birch, and this is my third installment in a series of videos on making and working with the very famous Eliot Coleman mousetrap box. I will have links to the first two videos in the description box down below, so go ahead and check those out. They have great stuff in them. And in this third video, I've got a couple more tips, but mostly I'm going to cover the modifications I've made to make using and working with these trap boxes quicker than ever before, and most importantly, to essentially eliminate all bending over and stooping down you'll have to do to work with these boxes, which are almost always placed on the ground. And so with that, let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing you can do to make these traps easier to use is to use traps that will reset easily. A traditional mousetrap has to be bagged, and you have to put the bail over it. They can be kind of a pain. These, even if you don't get anything in them, like, you know, or you catch a stick, can just be reset, just like that. That's a piece of cake. My favorites are these Victor Power Kill traps. They actually have holes in the back so you can screw them right to the bottom of the trap box, and this nice wide platform makes it a lot harder to avoid the trap, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so the second thing you can do to make these easier to use is to pick up the mouse carcasses with these dog poop bags like this. I happen to like this, which is the Earth-rated brand. They feel like they're a little bit heavier, and because they're a little heavier, I found them to be easier to get open on the business end, even if I'm wearing gloves. And let's be honest, not unlike a dog link, nobody wants to have to touch the carcass of dead vermin. So folks, here's where I show you how you can get rid of all the bending over and stooping down you have to do to check these boxes. So typically, you have the box, you come over, you have to bend down, open it up, look, well, I didn't get any mice today. Put this back on and leave. Or if you want to move it to a different location, because in my case, I put them where the dog is actually the busiest. You do this, and pick them up like this. If they're kind of slippery, that can be a two-handed operation. You're going to get all dirty. And this is kind of where things got real old for me. All right, so one of the first things you're going to want to do to eliminate bending is to add a hinge to one side. The hinge will automatically put the lid down in the right place. But then the second thing is to put a handle on the lid. This way, you just open that without stooping over, and you can look. Now, I wasn't 100% happy with this, because oftentimes to actually look in the trap, if you're standing directly above it like this door has to be open so far that you can't actually reach it, and you end up having to close it with your foot. That was kind of a pain in the neck. So the improvement that I made to that particular idea was to simply use a rope. When you come up to the trap, all you have to do, pick up the rope, look in there, well, I didn't get any mice today, and close the trap. You're gone. Now, as far as moving things around goes, that's what this upper handle is. All this is a 1x3 that's been bolted into the side. Through bolting works best here, simply because this is actually going to take a little bit more wear and tear. Basically, all you do, grab it, pick it up, set it down somewhere else. It's easy. I don't have a super big yard, but I can take these things all over the place, and it takes, seconds, not minutes. In fact, I could probably rearrange my entire trap line in about 5 minutes. If you have a high tunnel, imagine how much bending and work it's going to save you if you can just pick these things up like this and move them around. And so when you check your traps, you just walk past all the traps, do like that, done. The attachment for the rope up here is nothing more than a hole in the piece of wood with just a single knot tied in there, and that's enough. Now, when you actually catch something, how do you eliminate bending over? The trap's still down there, easy. You pick this up and you put it on something that's at a more comfortable level for you. In my case, it's my favorite picnic bench. Once the box is up at a comfortable working height, open the door. That rope actually keeps the trap door from flinging all the way open. Then you get your trusty poop bag, remove the carcass, and then just turn it inside out like you would if you were cleaning up after a dog. Piece of cake. Now you'll see on this box, I've actually used an eye screw right here. I happen to have a whole jar full of eye screws, so that was the easiest thing for me to do, but I suspect if you just drill a hole in the top and thread the rope through, tie a knot, that will work just as well. I think given the amount of stress that's likely to be on these, through bolting is going to be a lot more secure than just trying to put a screw through, especially since if you put a screw in, it's only going to be in this thin piece of wood, and there's just not a lot for it to grip on. Now, the other thing that's important here, add a spacer. If you don't have a spacer and this handle piece is just bolted right up to the edge of the box, the top of the box is going to rub or jam against this and it just won't work properly. Another option would be to cut this back a little bit, but I simply find it a lot easier to do this. Plus, if you're retrofitting boxes like this, it's just one less thing to do. Get another little piece of wood, stick it in there, you'll be golden. Well, and that's about it, folks. Thank you for hanging out with me for the entire video, learning a few things about how to make it even easier to keep your property vermin-free. If you liked this video or found it useful, please subscribe to my channel or watch another video, especially if you can watch the video all the way through. Both those things help this channel grow, and I do appreciate it. And with that, I'll see you in another video.